There's a book this big. Written owner's manual. Now the car is very electric. First we have to search where do we charge. Next, where is the start stop? You know, the car doesn't use a key, it has the stop start button. So my husband laughed at me when I hold the key. He's like, are you looking for the hole to put that? There's no hole for the key. Now we even had to open to see how do you do the handbrake? How do you? It's the owner who tells you that the handbrake is here, you do this, it works this way, you touch this button, it gives you that. Even if I am so educated, no matter how educated I am, I have to listen to the owner's manual. You know Bill Gates? Very rich. Elon Musk. These are the people who eat caviar and the black chicken. No matter how rich he is, when he goes to take a bath, he will use water. They will meet. Whether rich or poor, when you want to bath, you use water. Even though he can afford to bath with jet fuel, you know jet fuel, the fuel for aeroplanes. Even if he can afford jet fuel, he's going to bath with water. Because it is water which washes. No matter how much money he has, he can't change that rule. And start bathing with fuel. My point, friends, let's come back and ask Jesus how to take care of this body. Which button to press? You want the handbrake, where is the button? You can't say, I've been driving cars the rest of my life and the cars of driving Toyota, Nissan, or other types. And then you get into a Mercedes-Benz, you want to apply Toyota rules to a Mercedes-Benz. It doesn't work. Even when you've driven Mercedes-Benz your whole life, now you get into a Toyota, you want to apply Mercedes-Benz rules to a Toyota, it doesn't work. You need to follow the exact rules for that car that you are driving. It is Toyota which tells you whether to use diesel or to use petrol. Now, when you drive through, you see people, especially here we haven't seen a lot, but when you drive through, when you drive in my country, there's people who are selling different things on the road. Some different oils, they'll tell you this is car oil, this is what. Some of the things are in empty bottles, like this was a Coke bottle. Now the liquid has been poured in and they're telling you this is oil for the car. You think with my very expensive car I'm going to buy those? No. Because how do I know if it's going to damage my car? Okay, but let's say my car is damaged. Are there shops that sell parts for Mercedes-Benz? There are plenty of parts. I can even order it online. Go there and order, I want the gear selector, pay, delivery in 2 weeks time, I wait for my DHL package. I can even buy these parts online. But I'm very careful not to damage it. Even though I know there are parts that I can use to replace. I'm still careful. Even though I know I can get the parts. Now I want to ask you, is there a shop which sells body parts? We sell them kidneys, we have kidneys, we have stomach linings here. So if you damage your nose, you can come and buy. Who has seen a shop that sells body parts? Why are we more careful with something that has body parts that are sold? And less careful with this body that doesn't have replacement parts. Common sense tells you the one thing you can't replace, you need to take care of it. But we put more importance on that thing that I can replace. This one that I can't replace, I don't care. Who has bewitched you? Honestly, there is witchcraft working here. It is witchcraft. Because common sense tells you. If I buy a pen, you see, here is a pen. Of course, I want to take care of this pen. But if I lose it, do you think I'll hang myself because I've lost a pen? There's plenty shops selling pens. So I can even throw it away and not care. But there's no shop selling eyes. So I must keep my eyes very well. There's no shop selling kidneys. So I must keep my kidneys very well. That is common sense, right? But we do the opposite. We take more care of your pen than of yourself. It is witchcraft. The body is amazing. Do you know that it is not us as human beings who invented hunger? Someone didn't sit and say, hey, what can we do? Okay, let's feel hungry. And we invented hunger. God created you with the mechanism to feel hungry. We didn't invent thirst. To say, hi, what can we think and come up with next? Let's start getting thirsty. God created you with the mechanism to feel thirsty. Do you think God is so evil to create a mechanism of feeling hungry and not give you the food to eat? He knows as He was arranging you, when He was creating you, you are going to need food. And He told you what to eat. But like our mother Eve, like our brothers and sisters, the Israelites, what says left, we say what? God says right, we say. Where I come from, there's a totem which is known for opposing. So in my country, where we come from, we identify each other with totems. Totems are like, we have, like, it's not a surname, it's something that comes with a surname, right? And our totems, we identify, our totems are animals or animal parts. So my totem is the heart. Okay, yeah. So my totem is the heart. My husband's totem is the eland. You know the animal, the eland? Yes. That's my husband's totem. Now, my hust sisters are known countrywide for opposing. They are known that the ladies who belong to the Eland clan, those ones can oppose. Those ones can oppose. They are believed that they swim up river, not down river. So even if there is a flood, don't look for them downstream. Look for them upstream, because they can oppose. Seventh-day Adventists are like that. We oppose. And we find reasons. And we justify. I've been invited to different churches to teach health reform. So when they invite me, they don't know that they're asking to be taught health reform. They just say, doctor, come and teach us about diabetes. And then because medical missionaries, the door that opens, I sneak my Bible into a lesson for diabetes. And the whole church listens to me destroying their own beliefs. Because they invited me to teach what? Diabetes. The way they listen is like sand. You know this sand? When it rains, it doesn't take 2 minutes. The water is already gone into the soil. But Adventists are like mud. They are already full. The water doesn't sink. The people out there, tell them about eating mutete, veggies, lettuce. They oh, okay, we didn't know. They are hungry for it. Tell us more. Adventists will start to ask you the difficult questions. Or the questions they think are difficult. All of a sudden, someone raises their hands. Where do I get the protein? Because we know that meat is the source of protein. You are exposing your ignorance. While thinking you are showing that you think, to me I feel sorry for you, your brain is half empty. Because if the only source of protein you know is meat, your brain is not half empty, it's actually empty. The only source of protein you know. Look at how big you are. You are even big office. Your old offices that are big. I feel sorry for your subordinates. Because your whole brain, the only source of protein you know is meat. When I'm talking to the other churches, I'm very lenient. When I'm talking to you, gloves are off. We fight bare hands. Now we are going to get into the practical. I'm going to use the knowledge I have as a doctor to teach you about food. To show you what foods promote the systems that God put in place. And what foods stop those systems from working. And then that will give you, that is going to give you disease. My friend, I don't have my teaching aids. Do we have someone to sing for us? Oh, we can sing congregational singing.
I have a special song.
Amen.
A chorus. With Jesus in the vessel, we can smiling and
come, Elder, come.
We can smile and the storm. We can smile and the storm. With Jesus in the vessel, we can smile and the storm. As we are sailing home, sailing home, sailing home. With Jesus in the vessel, we can smile and the storm. As we are sailing home. This is for you only.
Amen.
With doctor in that Adventist, we can smiling and the storm. We can smiling and the storm. We can smiling in the storm. With doctor in Adventist, we can smiling and the storm. So we are sailing home.
Amen. Thank you very much for that. I'm told the males are going to come and sing all male voices. The males, please come give us a song.
So amen, even though I'm a Sauyema member.
Our homes are safe with priests like this. Thank you very much for those songs. Right, I always keep this in my consultation room. Because I don't know the names, and if I show people the things, then they can see, you know what you call it in your language. Okay, so I'm going to give you groups. If you have a pen and paper, this is the time to take it out. So that you can write your notes. Or if you are that group that eats caviar, you can make your notes on your iPad. The rest of us, we can together write. Okay, so you are going to write group 1. And on top you write sun. Sun, the sun, this one which you have in abundance. The sun. This one giving us the heat and the light during the day. The next one you are going to write A. Yes, it's still group 1. Still group 1. There's the sun. There's the air. There's water. And the last one you write the earth or soil. You just write earth/soil. Did we get the 4 things? Good. Let's write. That's all you got them for. Okay, good. Let's go to group 2. I'm going to come now and we learn group by group. We just want to write them down. Group 2. Group 2, you are going to write fruits. Fruits. Vegetables. Seeds. And nuts. Nuts. So in group 2 we wrote fruits. We wrote vegetables. We wrote seeds. We wrote nuts. Good. Let's go to group 3. Grains. I don't know how grains. These are examples of grains. Including wheat and rice and these are grains. They fit in this group. Then we have legumes. Beans and their types. Maybe beans and their types is these are just examples. You can see. Okay. Group 3 only has those 2. Grains and legumes. Instead of legumes, beans and their types. And grains, mahangu, whatever, rice, wheat, all those. Group 4. This is the group that tastes nice. Meat. All types of meat. Fish is not a vegetable. It's meat. Chicken. Fish. Beef. Lamb. All the types of meat. White or red or black or blue, as long as it is meat, it fits in this group. Then after the meat in group 4, we are going to write milk. Dairy, milk. And we are also going to write eggs. Each time I hear the translation for eggs, I laugh. You know what is mauta in my language? Do you want to know? You are sure you want to know? Mauta is a pregnant dog. So when you want to say a dog is pregnant, we say it is mauta. So each time I hear it, I first heard it in the hospital. When a patient they wanted someone to hand over their egg because they were eggs as part of the diet. So they were talking and then I hear mauta, I'm like, it's the beauty of language. Now language is beautiful, but at the time of Babel it wasn't. Imagine the beauty of someone is saying, pass me an egg, and someone is hearing pregnant dog. Honestly, if you ask for a pregnant dog, I want to beat you. And you're like, why are you hitting me? I'm asking for an egg. Anyway, that was just a side note. So group 4, we have meat, all types of meat. We have milk, dairy, and we have eggs. Right. Group 5. This is the last group, group 5. We have processed food. And in this processed food, there are some ingredients that they use. So we are going to list these ones. We are going to write sugar. You are going to write salt. Sugar, salt. You are going to write color. Color. Color, white, black, blue, color. This one, I don't know how you translate it. Preservatives. Preservatives, the things that you put so that something does not get rotten. That's a preservative, something to make it stay. You know, you see milk. You know that milk is supposed to get rotten after maybe 2 days or so. But that milk that you see in the shop, it has an expiry date to come 3 years from now. Preservatives, those things that keep the milk not going bad, or the meat or the food, preservatives. Then the last thing is flavor. Artificial taste, let me say. Group 5 processed foods make use of these 5. They put salt, they put sugar, they put color, they put flavor, they put the coloring, they put the preservative. For the clever Adventist to eat. Right, let's get back. You got group 5, you got it. Now let's get back to our groups. These groups are in order of importance to keep you alive. Group 1 is the most important. You cannot live without air. Surprise, surprise, you can't live without the sun. If the sun was going to be taken away, there will be no life on earth. But you know our problem? We don't see the importance of something if it's in abundance. The sun is too abundant in Namibia. We don't even see whether it's important or not. And I also not dwell on it, because in Namibia it is going to be very rare for you to have deficiency of the sun. So I will not dwell on that one. Let's go to the air. Do you know that the air you breathe, the only thing you want to get from that air is oxygen? So you are going to take in the oxygen and you are going to breathe out the carbon dioxide. Well, there are other things as well, the nitrogen and stuff that will be in the air. But the major things we are talking about is the oxygen and the carbon dioxide. So in Genesis 2, when God was creating, he said oxygen in and carbon dioxide. In 2024, human beings are saying that carbon dioxide, I want to drink it. So they look for those drinks that go. Even the water, they want to drink carbonated water. God said, right? We are saying what? God said carbon dioxide out. When now you want to drink it and put it back in. And you know the reason? It tastes nice. That's the only thing why you take carbonated drinks. They taste nice. There is no scientific reason why you taking carbonated drinks. For example, the Coke, the Fanta, the Sprite, those are the drinks I'm talking about. Those are examples of carbonated drinks. Even the water that they are carbonating. God said oxygen in, carbon dioxide. Why are you drinking it? Who has bewitched you? Now let's go to the water. We wrote water in group 1, right? Right. Your cells do not know that this is juice, this is drink, this is what. They only know H2O, water. When God created you, He said in this machine put water. Do you think God ran out of ingredients, or He didn't have the brains to just make Fanta for you? You think God could not just create rivers of Coke and Fanta and Sprite and carbonated drinks, all those?
Oni wagaza na sikarunga kakuvulira bali kutulisha kono muru no mkuro ndi wale marunone go Fanta.
Do you think God is unable to do that?
Gaza sikarunga kaptai kurukiruga na yangozo.
The God who dried a sea and people walked like they are walking in Namib desert.
Asikarunga kakukutikire efuta bantu bagende mugwe bakugenda mu.
And when the enemies came, the sea came back and they were all buried. You think that kind of God couldn't have created Fanta for you? He knows the machinery that he made, the car that you are. It works on water and not on petrol. Just like you listen when Mercedes-Benz says this is a diesel car, you listen to God, you are a water car. When you are dehydrated, your brain does not work well. Then you start causing problems. Here is a tip for church boards. When people start saying nonsense, give them water to drink. Some of the things you can't understand, you're like a whole big man like you. Is this the thing that you can suggest? A whole big woman like you, is this the thing that you can suggest? You must give you water so that you think properly. You have chronic dehydration. There are people who pride in not drinking water. Water, don't drink water. What for? He's going to fetch water. Water sustains life. And I tell you, I have met people who don't drink water. For the short time that I've stayed in Rundu, I made a conclusion. Rundu people do not drink water. I had one patient, even up to now, they're messaging me. He says, water, why? Like, why must I drink water? Like, I had to. And then I started explaining to him. And he says, hey, doctor, I like you and I don't like you at the same time. Because yes, I'm giving him information, but I'm taking away his favorite drink. People here can easily finish a 2 liters of Coke morning, afternoon, night without even thinking twice. Please drink water. When your brain says I'm thirsty, it is telling you to drink water and no other liquid. And I know when I married my husband, he was still learning to drink water. And then he married the wrong person. He used to say plain water doesn't taste nice. And I'm like, is water meant to have taste? We used to do poems of water when we were in primary school. Water, tasteless, colorless. We used to say that. Yes, some of the poems we did. Water is not meant to have any taste. Your joints will get dry. And you get arthritis. Now, because of the medical age, you know, I see patients being so proud about their medical age and feel so. They are so proud when you have a medical age, you think it's a status thing. Your medical age is not going to heal you. Go and drink water. And if you come to my office and I tell you to go and drink water, that's your prescription. You are never coming back. So the business person in me is going to write the injections because that's what you want. I'm in business. If I tell you to go and drink water and eat broccoli, that's your prescription, Baba, are you going to come back to me? You're going to say, no, that doctor didn't even give me a drip, didn't even give me an injection, didn't even this, and just told me to drink water. Okay, after water, what? There's no after water, what? After water, there's water and water and water and water. Go and drink water.
Let me stay.
Yeah, if you have to talk, you have to distract me because I talk too much.
Yeah, for respect's sake, let me honor you. This message, especially for me, to come at the right time. You know, I was disturbed by this illness called psychiatric. Even up to now, I'm not quite sure that I'm healed. I've suffered a lot from 1984. The doctor in Windu, they described to me that I need to go for this tablets called what? I don't know their names, but 2 tablets. Each time which I drink that 2 tablets, I need to rest for 3 hours. I remember at where they put the tablets, they wrote me that 3 times a day. But after drinking those 2 tablets, I need to sleep for 3 hours.
So you're going to sleep for how many days now? How many hours now in a day?
From 1984 until this 2003. That's where I stopped completely. What happened is I asked my doctor like you in our office here. Tell me, when I sleep, what comes next? This medication, it heals or what? He said, no, it just give you to rest. Look around, not to speak much. You talk too much. Now, you doctor, you are not speaking too much now. This is my nurse who assists me. This one. But now I'm free. I will not go to do your medication in the hospital to ask that tablet. If I would die,
you must start coming to see me.
Okay. Now when you will close this page, I will come to you.
Yes. Start coming to see me. Okay. So, if you forget everything I said today, remember that you must drink what? You don't need a passport to go and drink water. My church made sure water is here. Right, we talked about the sun, we talked about the air, and we talked about water. Right? What's left is the earth or soil, right? Where did we come from? The more we get in contact with where we come from, the better for our health. Walk barefoot, remove the white man's shoes and walk with your feet. Not on the pavement, but on the ground, the soil, not on sprayed lawn. But right there, out there on that soil. Do you know that it helps your children's brains to develop when they're in contact with the soil? Even the elderly who have dementia, they get help when they're in touch with the soil. Where did God put Adam and Eve for a home? In Tutungen. Where did God put them to live? In a garden. And what were they supposed to do? Work the soil. You know the problem with God?
My dear Sudigu,
He doesn't explain everything. He just tells you, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, and he is there. He doesn't give you 3,000 explanations and this and this and this. You know, God gives you information, but he leaves room for faith. He gives you enough evidence and he leaves you room for faith. Remember, we are going to spend eternity trying to understand God, and we are never going to understand him. Because once we have understood God, we have become God ourselves. God put the first pair in the garden in touch with the soil. Let your hands touch that. Now you want ShopRite to farm the tomatoes for you, the lettuce for you, the veggies for you. Even your mtete, you want someone to farm it for you. Your garden is in ShopRite. Even flowers. I know this place is hot. There's not many things that probably can grow, but there's flowers, there's trees that grow very well here. When in your garden, touch that soil. Your feet must be on that soil. You know, Africans, someone told us when you are rich, stay as far as away as you can from the soil. But let me ask you, who are the richest people in here in Namibia? Who are the richest people? Farmers. And the farmers are white. When you came to town yesterday, you want nothing to do with the soil at all. If you want to touch it, you must wear gloves. Gardening gloves. Always wear shoes. Where are your shoes? Do you think it's being English wearing shoes? You are depriving yourself. Have time to be in contact with that soil. It improves your child's development. It helps you to be calm. It has been shown that adults who are already sick from dementia, when they are exposed to the soil and they do gardening, they touch with their hands, their brains come back. Go and wet the soil. Touch that soil. Right, let's go to group 1. To group 2, sorry, we've done group 1, let's go to group 2. Like I asked, where did we come from? We came from the soil. If you take the minerals that are in the human body, they match the ones that are in the soil. Perfect. If it were possible, the best food for you was going to be the soil. It is the one that has everything that you need. And everything that makes you. It is found in the soil. But because we cannot eat the soil, we need something to take those nutrients for us from the soil. Then when we eat that thing, we then get the nutrition we want. So which one takes nutrients from the soil for us? The plants that we know as fruits and vegetables. But you know what we want? We want the cow. Yes, the soil, number 1. Here is the broccoli, number 2. Here is the cow, number 3. You see how far you are now from the soil? And at each level, something is lost. The broccoli, yes, took something from the soil, but it left other things in the soil. The cow is now eating the broccoli. It's not taking everything that's coming from the broccoli. It's also leaving some in the broccoli. Then the cow is here. And because you want to eat the cow, you are now here. So it's now human being. Cow, broccoli, soil. Whatever you are getting from this cow is poor quality. Number 3 down the line. And you have put yourself on number 4. Because number 1, number 2, the plant, and then and these cows these days, some of them are no longer being fed plants anyway. They are given the protein. Other animals that have died, they get mixed up and put chemicals in there. They call it bone meal. And they are feeding these cows with it. So that means when I are even number 5 when you eat the cow. Stay close to the soil as much as possible. You are getting first hand when you are eating the plants and when you are eating a variety. Where I come from, they call them cooperatives. When people come together and run a garden together. 2-3 families can come together and then they run a garden together. In that one, they just make sure they contribute, they fence their garden together. And then they start growing the cabbage, the whatever, everything in there as families, as a corporate. And then when they harvest together. It's not for resale, it's just for feeding their families. Unless if they harvested too much, then they can agree on the selling. I know there is a program here in Namibia which is trying to create wetlands for people to plant. Please make use of it if you have the chance to. You are the Namibians, don't snooze. You snooze, Zimbabweans will take it away from you. And we don't play shame. We'll come and say the Namibians are not here, they're nowhere to be found. We take it. There's a river close by. Make use of that river. That is the resource God has given. Make use of it. Go to them and ask, this garden, I want to do this, I want to plant this. The ministry is there waiting for you to empower you to grow your own food. So be empowered. Take care of the Namibian government that wants to take care of you. Don't just look at those resources and let them be. And only speak when Zimbabwe has now started using resources, then you go and complain. And after you complain and I leave, you still leave the land to lie idle. So why were you complaining? So the fruits, the vegetables, the seeds and the nuts, these ones are second in line in keeping us alive. I just have an example of the nuts here. That is the ground nuts. There are other nuts, almond nuts, walnuts, cashew nuts, different types of nuts. Get rid of the one that you can afford. This one is highly available. And you can make use of it, different recipes to prepare it. Anyone with questions on group 2? No questions means I'm an excellent teacher or you had nothing. Yes.
I'm a slow learner. Okay. In your class, I'm a slow learner. What do you mean by oxygen?
Okay. When you breathe in, the air that you breathe in, it has different parts and different names. So you can breathe in the oxygen, the nitrogen, these are just different names given to the air. They have different particles. So the oxygen gets in, your cells like it. They are like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And when they're finished saying thank you, they say, oh, we have waste that you need to take out. That waste is carbon dioxide. Then it comes out. Alright, let's go to group 3. Which is these ones. The grains, the legumes. Now, group 2, you can eat raw. Your salads, group 2. But this group, you must cook proper. Otherwise, your stomach is going to complain. Please cook good pap at home. Do not cook bad pap. Some of you just mix and say it's pap. The husband will just eat. What can he do? But it's not cooked properly. So these grains, they have a catch to them. You benefit them from group 3 if you eat as they are. Unrefined. I see people who want to lose weight and say, I'm not taking any starch. Your brain needs glucose that's made from starch to function. You can't do away with starch. You just need to eat unrefined starch. Because when they do, I know one day I asked about mahangu. I wanted to do the mahangu meal. So I saw there by the market they have the mahangu meal and they have something that looks like, they said it's chicken feet. So I learned that they soak them dry. I don't know which one comes first, but the process ends up with separation of the chaff and that one which you are throwing away is the chaff, that's the food. And that's the fiber.
Let me explain nicely in my local language. Kolini nina matumbura si etumbu liye hompa. Nani kolini etumbu liye panda. Liye tumbu liye panda makuro na betunga walidungisa sikungu. Makuro lina liye hompa okinanye kopile kikongole kwina. Ngatu ipenye wena watumbura si wasani. Uwali harau nene lime etumbu liye.
Okay, translation.
Actually, I was just saying that no, the chaff that we take out from the mahangu, the first one, and the villages there, they used to give it to the San people. Yes.
And those ones can be healthy while you guys. Alright, let's continue. Hands down, let's continue. Do not separate the fiber from the grain. There are some nutrients that come from the soil that are stuck to that skin. Once you remove the skin, you have removed with the nutrients. You can't separate the two. And what you are remaining with is like paper. You eat that very white pap, 2 hours you're already hungry. But if you eat the one that the skin is there, everything is there, you just take to the machine like that, that one, even when you eat, you stay longer. And it controls your diabetes. Do we have a diabetes patient here? That fiber is going to control how much sugar gets into your system bit by bit. You know, your body needs to handle sugar slowly. You know, it's like when you want fresh water from the tap. Depending on the size of the cup you have, it will determine how far you open the tap. If you have a very small cup, what do? You just open a little. If it's a big bucket, what do? You can open to the maximum and then it goes wow. And then when it's about to fill in, you what? You close. Your stomach and your whole body system is like a small cup. If you open too much, there will be disaster. You need to open slowly. The sugar must get in slowly, and then your body can handle it. But when you eat the white pap, it's like someone who goes with a small cup on the tap. Open to maximum. Sometimes it's not even like a tap. It's like the pipe. You know those pipes, sometimes the pipe bursts. And then the water comes, wow. And when now with your small cup, you are fetching from there. The water is going to be splashing everywhere. Now when you eat that refined food, the sugar is going to be splashing everywhere. Even your body cannot handle it. And then when we check, we say your blood is too sweet. You have diabetes, we are going to give you tablets. Diabetes is a lifestyle disease. Eat properly and you can beat diabetes. The skin, the fiber is going to be the tape that opens slowly and the sugar is put into your system slowly. And throughout the day, nothing spills over because it is open to proportion. But you like your white pap, you like your white rice, you like your white pasta, you like your white bread.
My question is that I've observed that there are people that prepare mahangu by soaking it 2-3 days in the water, and then they go and refine it. It now starts tasting somehow
Sour.
So now I don't know, is it right or maybe what is the counsel on that?
That is a process called fermentation. To a certain extent it is good. But if you increase the extent, it becomes alcohol. Actually, even more from Oshikundu. There's a time when the Oshikundu is good Oshikundu. And then there's a time when the Oshikundu is going, making you go. That is a process of fermentation. It is good for your digestion. And people who have digestive issues, we encourage them to get fermented foods. Or even sprouted foods like the seeds that we talked about. And even these legumes, you can soak them and sprout them. When they are coming out germinating, you take those pieces that have germinated and you eat them. Those are very good for digestive system. So even for people with ulcers, you know people with ulcers are special, eh? Like, I don't eat that, I have ulcers. Yes. I don't eat that, I have ulcers. They are special. People with ulcers benefit a lot from eating the fermented foods and from eating sprouts. But you need to be careful the extent of fermentation, because you might get drunk. And the refining part, even though they fermented, it's good that they fermented, but they are also undoing the fermentation by removing the skin and refining it. If they would ferment those 2-3 days and then grind it whole, then they will have full benefits. It's easier to digest, it will be easy on the stomach, and it can help you recover from inflammation. Okay, so I tell my patients to eat to drink the Oshikundu minus the sugar. Because hey, Rundu people can take sugar. You know, Oshikundu is healthy. Yes, Oshikundu is healthy, but the sugar is removing the healthy in that Oshikundu. Right, group 3 is, does everyone understand what I've said? Unrefined starch and your legumes. Now let's move to group 4. The group that tastes nice. That group tastes nice, hands down. I was not born, knowing health reform. And I know meat tastes nice. I know it tastes nice. That is the only nice thing about meat that tastes. After you swallow, the chicken that you have killed starts killing you. After the tasting, that cow that you have killed, that cow that you have eaten starts eating you.
A
lot of diseases have been linked to diets that are meat-based. Different cancers have been linked to diets that are meat-based. Even the lifestyle diseases, they have been linked to diets that have meat. We sometimes try to say, this is the chicken that I've kept myself, I'm removing the skin, I am doing this. You are just trying to paint this witch nice, they still remain a witch. No matter how much makeup you put on the witch, they remain a witch. There is a reason why God took away the meat when he gave the manna. You think God could not bring both the quails and the manna together? He could do it. But when he brought the quails, what happened? People died. And they even named the graveyard the graves of people who died because of meat. When the Hebrew name is translated, it means those who died because of meat. My friend is, are you not sleeping? And then he stood up and started going out when I want to ask him a question. It's fine, he will come back, I'll catch him. Even when there was adultery, those who died from adultery, there's a graveyard. Graves of people who died because they didn't know where to sleep. The same applies with meat. There's a grave for people who died because of meat. God could have given them both. He only gave them that once, and there was no meat again throughout the journey of Israel. He knew what he was doing. You know, now we say because of sin, meat is now not safe to eat. I would like to think that during Adam and Eve, that was the safest time for meat to be eaten. There was no sin. All the animals had come from God's hand. It means those animals were the most healthy animals. Imagine fresh from creation. Even though they were fresh from creation, God said to Adam, eat the vegetables. So this thing of my chicken is healthy. Do you think your chicken is healthier than the chicken that God created? Your cow, is it healthier than the cow that God created? Now, I know the Adventist mind. They are asking about a certain chapter 11. The clean and the unclean animals. I'm an Adventist, I understand how we think. We wear defense now. You are defending my ways because of the chapter 11. So now let's walk the journey together again. Original. God never meant for human beings to eat meat. Then human beings started eating meat before even God gave any light of agreeing. If you read the people before the flood of Noah, they were already eating meat. So eating meat didn't start with you. Now, even before God said okay, because they are stiff-necked, I'm giving you chapter 11. He did not give an allowance for anyone to eat meat. Then he tells Noah that clean animals, take them 7-7. It was not because of, you know, now people say Adventists don't eat pigs because of the demons. No, an unclean animal was created unclean. Noah knew there were clean animals and unclean animals. So the clean animals now came. And they were saved 7-7. And the unclean came in 2-2. And it was the clean animals that could be used for sacrifice.
Eyo kuka yonga ugane sakono
And
zako.
Cain ignored that point.
Makura Keni ageka
Instead of the
gaita.
clean animals, he sacrificed cabbages.
Morupenyo nokunguru kansa.
And we know what happened to Cain.
Takawanye kwa idi.
Now, remember, God came to the point of regretting why he made human beings. And these human beings were living too long. How old was Adam when he died? And how old was Noah? How many years did Noah preach? 120 years, not 120 years of life, 120 years of preaching. Now after the flood, God said, what is recorded in Leviticus 11 was actually said way before that. That was God just trying to make it articulate. Now God said, I know you people. I know how sinful you are. I know that I don't want to regret again making you. So because I know the mechanism that I made, I am going to make an adjustment. Because you are stiff-necked, this is what I am now going to do. Now let me ask you, which one do you want? The God's original instruction or the instruction that he gave because you are stubborn? Leviticus 11 came because we were stubborn. It was never God's ideal. Now God says, okay, because you are stubborn, I'm going to let you be. You know, when you have daughters, if it comes to the point where you tell your daughter, no, you can't do this, look at the person you are choosing to get married to. This is going to happen to you. Please, I wouldn't want you to get married to this person. And then she remains stiff-necked. You come to the point where you say, okay, this is what you have what you have chosen. Now go and get married. Can she stand and say, I got married with my mother's approval? No, because the approval was squeezed out of me because of stubbornness. Now God said, because you are stubborn, I am going to guide you in your stubbornness. I am now going to give you Leviticus 11. Now at least do not eat the unclean animals. Stay with the clean animals. At least take out the fat from the animals. At least take out the blood from the animals. Those who are standing by chapter 11, how many are removing fat and blood? Leviticus 11, we want to hide it.
Yeah. I want to rectify the bit there. What disturbed me now for funeral issue. When they slaughtered there, I was not there. And they cook half because of people they need to eat. Now,
there's no time to remove the blood.
Before I came to this phase, blood, if we kill something, blood separate alone there. We cook it for us now.
It's the same in Africa. We also cook blood. Now let me give you an example. Remember, religion started with the Jews. If you want to see how to keep the Sabbath, observe Jews who keep the Sabbath. Even though we are all now Israel, by physical bloodline, they are more Israel than us. Because they were the original Israelites who were supposed to show us this thing. But they became stubborn and God decided to just welcome us in. Now they understand chapter 11 better than us. The meat that they remove the blood is called kosher. Now this is not that just blood that comes out when you slaughter. They soak that meat for days until all the blood is out. That's how the blood is removed. then the meat becomes kosher. You make sure to remove all the fat. Now, when the fat is removed and the blood is removed, the reason why we eat meat disappears. It's not nice anymore. It's not exactly, it will be like paper, because you remove fat, you remove blood. What are you eating? So what makes meat taste nice is rebellion. God says right, we say what? God said okay. Now, but now, remember the church ages. God keeps taking us and moving with us. After the children of Israel had arrived where they were going, they became rebellious again until they were under the Roman Empire. Now Jesus is born in this church. Remember the sanctuary message. It's both a personal message and a church message. At church level, the outer court was until Jesus died. When Christ died, then he went to heaven. On the day of Pentecost, he entered into the holy place. Now, in the outer court, there was eating of meat. It was in the outer court. Then in the holy place, there was still some eating of meat. Because the sacrifices that were done on a daily basis, the priest will also go into the holy place, and the priest will be going back and forth, outer court, holy place on a daily basis. But when you go to the most holy place, it was once a year, in the day of atonement. There was no eating of meat. And it is the day of atonement that we are living in now. From 1844, we are in the day of atonement. And that is the reason why the pot of manna is in the most holy place and not in the outer court. In the most holy place there is manna, there is no meat. So Leviticus 11 ends in the holy place. Services of the most holy place do not include it. In fact, we have manna which God gave us when he took away the meat. So as people living in the most holy place, we are living in the era of the third angel. We must go back to manna. Remember, God removed manna when the children of Israel removed meat and gave manna when the children of Israel were approaching Canaan. He didn't remove it when they were still in Egypt. But when they were approaching Canaan, that's when the meat is taken out. Now us who are approaching Canaan, please go back to manna. It is now time for manna because Canaan is now very close. Those who are proceeding to Canaan, let's learn from those who proceeded to previous Canaan. This Canaan that we are going into, we must go back to manna. That is why God in his wisdom, he put the pot of manna inside the Ark of the Covenant in the most holy place, next to the 10 Commandments. That makes a statement. It makes a statement. There's a reason why manna was specifically, the verse we read, Exodus 16. The instruction was for Aaron to take the aroma of the pot of manna and put it in the Ark of the Covenant next to the 10 Commandments. There is a reason. Speak, yes, my elder.
Thank you, Sister. It's true what you said about Leviticus chapter 11. You can see, rightly said in chapter 17, when now God realized that these people do not tell them to move the faith. Don't eat faith. Don't eat milk, because they were consuming milk. But my query to you is, why did Jesus, when he gave that parable of the prodigal son, why did he use a car that when the kingdom of God is like this and this, the son who went astray, he wasted the all his wealth, he blew it away, but when he came back, he did not use a pig, did not use a goat, not even use a sheep, but he used a fattened cow. Why? And the other query is that it's true what you said is an angelic secret recipe of manna. But I'm just wondering, in the ancient dietary or recipe of cuisine, why meat is featuring there? Because all the legumes, the nongos you are talking about there, they were not part of manna, to be honest with you. And the manna was so sweet because you will see that the honey, I'm not preempting everything, honey was one of the ingredients of manna.
Okay, they used the honey to prepare the manna.
Yeah.
Yes.
But because of, the Israelites, they not trusting the Lord, to say, they gather a lot for, a portion of one day. And on the Sabbath, they were told, no, don't do this by doing one thing. So I was just wondering that maybe the doctor can say, eat a variety. I personally, even Jesus knows, even God knows, I eat everything, especially which is in the Bible.
Including
I eat a variety, and in limited proportions of portion.
Okay.
Because when they realize, even in water, too much water, if you end up in the ICU, too much of everything. So I think
okay. He still thinks he needs to.
And so clever, you are so psychological that you are telling us that, okay, you can do this, you can do this, but you must be very careful. But what I'm trying to say is that we must be very careful in eating kind of monocultural type of food, because that is disastrous. Because even Ellen White, he said, I agree with you on that one. If you eat a diseased meat, it definitely. For example, that the meat has got blood and fat, you yourself also are going to be sick. But if, that's why I love your part when you say in Zimbabwe, people are trying to become together with cooperatives. I think it's the right time we as Adventists must have our own
cooperative
restaurants
and grow your own healthy meat.
Grains, legumes, beans. And by the way, my son is there. I love beans. Every meal without beans or vegetables, if maybe I'm a Christian, and that's how they say, you are so proud, you don't know it. But put beans there, put vegetables there. For me, it's hallelujah. I'll stop there.
Okay, so I'll answer the first question. Why did Jesus use that? You know that when, okay. When Jesus was talking to us, giving us parables, he spoke using things that they understood. So the culture in the time that Jesus was living, when they were celebrating, they used fattened cows. So that point was what to say when you go go to heaven, God is going to kill a cow. It was to express the gratitude, the happiness that the Father has when you decide to leave sin. So God could not, Jesus could not talk to them and use an example of things that happen in America, because then they wouldn't understand. If you look at all Christ's parables, the sower went forth to sow, and other seeds fell on hard ground, others on fertile ground. Ellen White says while he was giving that, they were watching over a field and they were actually seeing someone sowing seed. And then Jesus then just used it to give the parable. So him using a fattened cow has nothing to do with him approving eating of cows. He used a tradition that they understood. Now let me come to this message of saying, okay, if I find undiseased meat and eat in moderation, is it okay? When God removed the meat from the children of Israel, He didn't give them in moderation. The time that we are living in the most holy place, we have passed the period of moderation. We have come to the time that when Christ comes out of the most holy place, there is no other service except to come and take us to go home. Then let me come to the legumes. When they were eating the manna, the different vegetables like the leeks and the onions and the legumes were not taken away from them. They continued having them, and up to today they make a diet of the Jews. Let me tell you, even previously, if you go to the time of Daniel, when you got Daniel, when he went with the 3 other Hebrew boys to the king, they set themselves not to eat the food of the king, but to live on pulse and vegetables. Now the other name for legumes is pulse. So they were living on legumes and vegetables. And when they got to Babylon, were eating different meats, different types. Daniel did not ask for any moderation. He said, this we do not eat. Now I will come to the point where Ellen White says the diseased meats. She was also shown that in her time, 1905, sin had already taken over. It was no longer safe to eat any form of meat. That is in 1905. And I am sure you agree with me. Sin in 1905 is nothing compared to sin in 2024. If ever it was safe to eat meat, it is not in 2024. All right, let's move. Group 5.
Was talking about over drinking water. It will never happen unless you are doing marathon. Because as you drink this water, since it's tasteless, you will be full easy. But if you run a long running or working too much physical work, you feel really dry. You end up drinking until you have too much. Otherwise, don't be afraid of having too much of this. Your body will tell you.
In any person, there's not too much of water unless you have a specific condition, like he says. Drink poison without knowing that it's poison, it can still kill you. When I was working in pediatrics, I had babies who died because they thought it was drink when it was rat poison that the mother wanted to use, or cockroach poison. The babies didn't know that it's poison and they drink. Do they die? Yes. But they didn't know. Not knowing and eating something that you don't know, it can still kill you. Hey, you guys are very strong. All that is, I read, you know nothing about them, but you are still, tonight you are going to buy this and drink. Group 5, processed foods. It comes in bottles, it comes in in packages that go. It comes with ingredients. What do you think is the label that comes with this one? How many E's are here? Oh, this one. Ingredients. It will just be what? Beans. What will be put on the cabbage? No coloring, no flavoring, no preservative, no, nothing. But the things that you know you don't want, you want the things that you don't know. Do you know what this is going to do to your kidneys? You don't. Is there a shop which sells kidneys? No. And you still drink. Who bewitched you? The packet of chips that you give your children to go with to school. What exactly are your children eating? Is there one with a packet we can read? You can just give me the packet. It's not yours. You're just giving me to read. It's fine. I should have asked for the packet before I started.
Yes, but the kindergarten will do him here.
Is there a packet somewhere, even an empty packet somewhere? We can go through and read. Okay. My daughter picked something. Are you sure you didn't eat? Now you won't believe this. 100 grams of this. How much is it? 16 grams. 100 grams of this, or per 16 grams. They even still put half a teaspoon of sugar in here. There's half a teaspoon of sugar in the 16 grams. Right, ingredients. Maize. We know maize. Vegetable oil. Remember our list now. Salt. Sugar. Acids. Sodium diacetate E262. Citric acid E330. MSG, this one is poison, E621. Pure spice, caramel brown, onion powder, concentrated flavoring, anti-caking agent E551, coloring E110. How many things did you tick from our preserved food? We ticked salt, we ticked sugar, we ticked flavoring, we ticked coloring, and we ticked preservatives. All of them. That's small. Imagine the number of ingredients. And on top of that, they put half a teaspoon of sugar in here. Look how small this thing is. Your baby will eat 2 already has got a teaspoon of sugar. And all these colorings and flavoring. The total sodium in here is big. Too much salt. And you wonder why why we get high blood pressure. The studies have shown that blacks cannot handle salt as well as whites. There are people who, even before they taste salt, before they even taste the food, salt will kill your kidneys. And now if you read we are now topping the charts. Do you know that they used to think that Africans have a protective gene against the heart attack? But now they're like, no, these guys, they don't have any gene. It's the way they were eating. Now they're eating like us, they're even suffering more than us. Blacks are topping the list of heart attacks. Because we are having the risk factors for heart attack, diabetes, high blood pressure, they give you big risk for heart attack. Long back when we used to write risk factors for heart attack, we used to say race. Now it's not there anymore. Race, maybe underneath there. It's no longer top of the list. Medicine is changing, but does God change? No. He still sticks to what he advises us to eat. On top of this guide that I've given you, Remember to trust in God. Remember to be temperate. What my elder is going out, what he was emphasizing. Remember to be temperate. Even if it's good food, you need to eat it in moderation, right? Remember to exercise. Remember to pray. Remember to add all the other parts of the new start. They work together. There is no magic solution. Once you do your whole new start, you get me broke. Amen. Or at least you are not going to be the one paying for the bills for my car. At least let others do it, not you guys. After I jump up and down and sweat, do you know how old I am? I'm old. And my birthday is in 2 weeks' time. After jumping up and down, an old woman like me, you still want to go home and continue living the way you were living. I am jumping and sweating and putting everything in me. Just do me this little favor. Even try it for 1 week. Not just 1 week. Just try to eat right, exercise right, drink water, make sure everything is in place. Just 1 week. That would be the best birthday present you can give me. Sometimes, when I'm counseling patients, I am begging them to leave, as if they leave, it's going to benefit me directly. Sometimes they have to beg a patient. No, and they want to sign out. I want to discharge myself from the hospital, and I have to beg. Just last 2 weeks back, I was begging someone to stay on the dialysis machine. His kidneys are gone, and he's young. He refused. He signed out. I couldn't convince him. I know the next time they'll bring him, I'm just going to certify him. There's nothing else I can do. I begged. I kept him in the ward. I didn't discharge him. I begged. I tried to keep him 1 more week. I saw, the other doctor saw him and said, I'm giving you 2 weeks to think. I also saw him. I pretended I didn't know the story. I gave him more time to think. After about a month of him thinking in the ward, we were dialyzing him. He says, I don't want to continue on this dialysis machine. I'm going home. I know he's going to die. But what can I do? So I am begging. Okay, if not for my sake, for Christ's sake. See how much Christ put in your life. How he walked the path to Calvary. See him in the Garden of Gethsemane, suffering for you and me. See how he was dropping great sweats of blood, crying and pleading for your life. No matter what you have done, he still says, come unto me, for I delight in mercy. He doesn't care what you have done in this life. He doesn't care how many people you have killed. He doesn't care how many tears have been shed because of you. He is saying, I understand that the devil is here. If you are willing, I want to save you. Who can have better love than Jesus? I want to lift Christ before your eyes today.